and how are you today? My name is Carla. I'm an adult doll collector, and you are in my hangout. And today we are in, well, another one of my modular rooms. And I did something that I've been meaning to do. Gosh, I think almost a year ago now, Mattel released the first series of Barbie You Create kits, and they released 3 of them. So they had 1, 2, and 3. And each of those kits came with 3 different body types, 3 heads, quite a few fashions, and 3 wigs. And they were like $100. Now, I was able to wrap my mind comfortably around $75 because, you know, $25 per doll because each doll was articulated. But the other $25 was a little bit of a hunt for me. But this is one of the dolls that came with those sets. And as you can see, she's kind of, she's cute. She's pretty. And I love the faces on each of the dolls, but I haven't used them much because of this. I was one of those creators. Let me put your hair back on. There you go. I was one of those creators. I tried to make the best of the wigs. Okay, I did. I tried to make them look cute and work and all when I did my thing. And I mean, they can look okay, but when you're trying to do anything with the doll, the wig falls off, and it's just, and I think it just keeps looking like a wig. And there isn't a lot you can do about it. So these dolls with the really pretty faces ended up sitting on my shelves in their folder and barely getting used for anything because I detested using the wigs. So I decided to give them all hair except her. I didn't do hair for her because hers hasn't come in yet. But because I didn't have a whole lot, I wasn't planning on doing, I'd never ordered enough to do, a ton of dolls. I only had enough really for 4, so I had to get creative for the others. But I even ran out of creative by the time I got to her, and I wanted to do justice by this one. So anyway, her hair hasn't come in, so she's still in a wig. But she's pretty and she can rock whatever. So let me show you, though, the dolls with their hair done. Be right back. Hi. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I would just like to remind you that if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more content, it really helps if you hit the like button. And I think it's somewhere in here. And there is now a hype button. And if you could hit that, that helps tremendously. And of course, subscribing is always great too. But definitely, yeah, like and hype. That would be awesome. All right, back to the video. right, well, that brings me to the end of this video, and I do thank you for joining me. Well, we got to take a look at the results of some of my first attempts at rooting doll hair. I found it time consuming. I kind of like it. I will probably be doing more of it. But these dolls, because their heads didn't have any rooting pattern, it was a little bit more of a challenge. I did find an old doll's head and I cut off her hair so I could look at the rooting pattern, and there were a lot of holes. And I was looking at that going, oh gosh, this is never going to be done. So I put that head aside because otherwise I was just going to stop right there and leave them bald or 1/4 haired. Yeah. So I kind of winged it. And the tool, I had bought a tool for doing the rerooting, and it kept, the needle kept bending or would break. And so that was another thing. So I think I saw it on, oh gosh, is it Dolzy Doll? No. Anyway, on another channel where she took a needle and then cut the very tip of the eye off and then used that part for doing the hair. And I did that, and that went much, much better. I also learned that less is more. For those of you who have been doing hair, you already knew that. I didn't. So, because at first I thought, well, I'll try to get as big a hunks as I can fit on there, and it'll go faster. But all that really happened was the doll ended up with a thick bunch of hair around her scalp that didn't sit down right at all. Even after boil washing it and everything, it just wouldn't go down. So I ended up cutting off all the hair and pulling all the hair plugs out and starting over again. In fact, that was this one. She was originally, I had made her a blonde. Another thing I learned was I thought I had a couple old partial wigs here, and I thought I could use the hair from those. But the hair on those is not, it did not work as well. Or at least for me, I just didn't like it as much. So again, I removed that. So I'll be sticking with, I guess, saran doll hair or nylon or whatever. I'm not sure what this is, but I really like it. And yeah, it's definitely a learning curve. So hopefully it doesn't look too bad with this one, even though I start her off as a blonde. I ended up going with a white with a platinum blonde and then a couple shades of pink in her hair because her face just made me think of bringing in some pink. So I thought that just, like I said, just bringing in different shades, and I had the most fun with her hair. So, but yeah, I really did enjoy this. And I have a curling iron that I was able to use. I was able to turn it on and let it go to its full power. I was able to wind the hair, and the curling iron just gave them ringlets. And I'm not sure where I got it. I've had it for a while. But it's this. It doesn't have anything to hold on to the hair or anything, so I had to kind of wind it around and hold it there. But it was able to, it only has off and on, but on, it didn't burn the hair and, it didn't melt the hair or anything, which is really fabulous. So I was able to give them their little curly cues. She was the first one I did, and I didn't want to go really heavy on her hair except for around, the front, but the back I tried to not go as heavy, and I think it came out. I mean, it seems to look right. So I like her, and I wanted her to have that dark hair. So I'm very pleased actually with how she came out. This one, I had some curly hair, and I did not want to make my dark Barbies whitified. I just didn't want to do it. I wanted them to look, well, hopefully, I wanted them to have a hairstyle that could be fun for them. And those of you who are not melanin challenged like I am, let me know if this is a go or a no. If this is something that you guys, if you saw this on yourself, you'd be like, oh my God, I got to get to the hairdresser. Let me know, because I kind of think it looks nice, but I don't know. But I did like the colors and, and the ringlets. So she was fun. This girl, I still have to work on her hair a little bit. What I did with her is I actually cut off some hair from another doll and then gave her the shorter hair, but I'm not certain how I feel about it. So you guys can let me know if this is a sort of a hairstyle that anyone would actually wear or not, okay? I am open for, to suggestions on these dolls because I'm still learning. And then whenever I would use a wig for this doll, I always gave her the red wig. So I decided, of course, give her the red hair with just a few darker streaks inside of it. But I try to stick with mostly this, kind of, I guess, a ruby red, just to have fun. And then I curled it. I didn't curl it all the way, but I probably will curl it more. But I do like to shade on her. I think it works for her. And then this one, I want to give her that really, really deep, deep red. I thought the deep, deep red with the green side eye, and it matches her eyebrows too. And so I thought it could be fun. And I'm actually really pleased with how it came out. And I didn't throw any other colors in there. She was one of the last ones, so I kind of run out of some colors. And I also just don't have a very big variety. I'm going to be fixing that, but I do like how it's so soft, and I do like how it came out. And I know I can see me using these dolls a lot more now that they have hair and you can handle them without their wigs falling off. And then this one, I thought, I wanted her to have like just the almost ethereal kind of look. So I guess it's because of her eyes, the work around her eyes. And so I actually just used some white hair. And I tried bangs, and I'm going to have to work on them some more to make them go down. I do understand that bangs are really difficult, and now I definitely understand why. And then I gave her ringlets as well, but I like it. I do. I like it. And since I've liked these faces, and it bothered me not using them much because I myself liked all the unique faces that came with these sets. So, it'll be good to use them. And like I said, this girl's waiting for her hair. And I'm contemplating on going with a hairstyle kind of like this, with the two, the one tone, the two-tone kind of thing. Because she looks like a little badass, and I think she could work it. Then I have one other head, but I had given her body to another doll that I got because I really wanted to be able to use that doll. So I ran out of doll bodies, so I need to order one for her. So, but she was also going to be getting some new hair. But anyway, I liked them, and I still dressed her up even though she didn't really participate in the fashion show. But now I didn't make any I didn't put any of these dolls on tall bodies this time. They're all on either standard, curvy, and then there's two petite. Now my preference is standard and curvy. Mostly standard just because, but I also like the curvy. Petite dolls can be cute, but it's hard to find clothes for them that doesn't make them look like they're teenagers trying to look dressed up. So it's a lot harder for me to make them look, well, what I would consider right. But I think this outfit works for her. I think she looks very much like an adult in this outfit. But yeah. So anyway, let me know what you think. Did you have a favorite? Did you have one that you were like, oh gosh, don't ever do that again? Whatever. I love hearing from you. So now if you like this video, please hit like. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much for being a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, I have a subscribe button. It says subscribe. It's somewhere in here. And if you're watching this on TV, it's somewhere up in here. And you just take your remote and you click, and then you're a subscriber. Comment down below. Like I said, tell me what you think of things. If you take the time to comment, I will take the time to answer. It might take me a week to get back to you sometimes, but I do always answer because I really love hearing from you guys. It makes my day. Sharing is caring, and if you want to share this video, because I know a lot of people were not big fans of the You Create series 1 dolls. A lot of it was because of the wigs, and there are a few of us who did give them hair, and so now I'm another one, and a couple of them did way better, and you guys probably know who they are, but I didn't. But anyway, go ahead and share, and you never know. And on that note, though, I'm gonna let you go. And no matter what time of day it is, whether it's morning, noon, or night, I do hope it's fantastic, because you deserve fantastic things. And I'm out of here, so goodbye.